dirt and the earth.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Andy Hoosier. Give him a call at 721-TALK.
Welcome back into the Voice of Reason, 36 minutes past the hour on a Friday. Right here on the Big Talker, 1480 on the AM side, 102.5 on the FM side, KQAM 721-8255, 721-TALK. If you want to join into the discussion today, in for another segment here. Robin Lace, along with the Midwest Battle Buddies in studio, rocking the service dogs. What's the difference here? Chip's with us right now as well here. And Chip, what's the difference between these service dogs that you guys have compared to the average service dog for anybody with a disability, anybody that that just has a problem? I mean, what's the difference that you guys do?
We go above and beyond. We follow IDA guidelines, but Tony has taken this a step further. We're doing anti-theft with the dogs, where if for whatever reason the handler puts the dog down and he's shopping and he needs to have the dog down and walk away to get something. Mm-hmm. If somebody tries to grab that leash, you will literally have to drag that dog. He will not come.
And being a large dog like that might be a little difficult to do.
It's going to be difficult, and you're going to give up pretty quick.
That's right.
Also, food refusal. You can throw steak at these dogs, and they're not going to touch it unless it comes from their handler.
Mm-hmm. So if someone tries to harm it, put something in a meat, something tries to...
Sure.
I don't know why people do that. Sick individuals.
It happens. We've heard of people poisoning tennis balls and putting them in the dog parks here. I mean, there's some bad people out there.
Just because I don't understand why you'd even want to do that, but it's good to know that you don't have to worry about that happening to your dog.
Right.
Which is really good.
Right. And, it goes for the manners in the restaurants, too.
Sure.
People, these guys go into a restaurant, nobody will even know their dog is there until they get up and leave and see the dog exit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. Absolutely
they're just
amazing.
curled up under the table, and you'll never even
sleeping
never-
away.
It doesn't
doing their
matter
thing.
if there's kids walking by and people actually do notice them under the table and then they're cooing and talking to them or trying, they drop food. Our dogs remain calm. They're underneath the table. They don't go and look for any attention.
Sure.
They don't accept any food.
Like I said, now if they get attention, let's say you are walking down the street, walking down the side, a kid does say, "Ooh, a dog," and comes up, starts petting it. Is it okay for them to do that? Do they get a little iffy on that?
No, it's not. And that's part of the education process.
Sure.
When these dogs are in vests, they're taught not to accept any attention from anyone else.
Okay.
And we had actually some ladies from Daughters of the American Revolution are actually custom making these vests, and we had them put "Do Not Touch Service Dog" on the vest.
Sure.
Because when they're in vests, they're working.
Sure.
We'll take the vest off later and let you guys meet the dogs, but unless that vest is off, they are not allowed to be touched. They're working.
They don't act aggressively or anything like that, but our dogs do stand off.
They just stand out.
Yeah,
Okay.
they'll stay right beside their veteran. You can reach your hand out to them or something. You'd be lucky if you got a sniff from the dog. It's just the way we train. The whole point of having a service dog is that dog is all attention on handler.
Sure.
So we can't have the dogs worry about who's coming up and what they're doing. We also, when we're training, we'll bump the dogs. The dogs will be on a stay away from the handler, or we'll lightly touch their feet or touch their tail or walk over them, bump them, or have shopping carts touch them. They have to be bomb-proof when they're around.
It's absolutely fascinating. I mean, I'm a huge animal lover. I mean, I always have been, and obviously a dog owner too, and usually big breeds. But it's hard for me. It's so hard for me to not reach out and want to pet them, and I'm bad at it. I have to admit, I'm horrible at it. And even I have to sit here and go, "No, Robin, no, stop! You can't do that. You can't pet that puppy. You can't do it." And it is hard, But I'm still trying to learn. But I think the other thing too, I wanted to ask you guys, I've noticed that you guys are doing some of your training so publicly that you're actually doing this at Town East Mall. That's our biggest mall in Wichita. Yeah. That is our biggest mall.
We teach the dog escalators and elevators and how to handle crowds. We also teach the dogs, when they're going into an escalator, we teach them what we call the wrap or the behind. Some of the guys call it six. Where the dog actually goes behind the handler. It creates space while you're in an elevator, but it also protects the dog.
I've been, I always follow your Facebook page because it's absolutely fascinating to me what you do.
We also train, we like to train at Town East because of the second tier.
Right.
If you don't train a dog well enough, and if the dog isn't used to heights, it can be very scary for the dog. So this is our way of, in our own form, bomb-proofing the dog. Like the dog,
Right.
we want the dog to be able to go anywhere and everywhere that veteran feels comfortable going.
Absolutely amazing. And the couple of the gentlemen that you do have here today, how many months has it been? I mean, I remember you guys from...
It's been about a year for them now.
Okay, yeah, it's been, I was going to say, it's
They're
probably been about a
pretty
year.
close to finishing up.
Yeah, and you guys are just doing fantastic. You both look amazing, and your little furry, four-legged buddies here are absolutely fantastic. I think the fact that we have 3 large breed dogs in this studio right now, and we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 human beings, says a lot. And this room is not made for this many people, let alone 3 dogs.
And they're just laying
They're
down.
just
They're having their grand
mellow,
old time.
and they're right there by their buddy. Isn't that cool?
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Now the training that you guys do, the program that you guys have here, is there anything like this in other states? I mean, I'm sure that there's some elsewhere, but as we mentioned off the air a little bit, the Canine for Warriors, kind of the other big one that I've vaguely heard of, and I think you said they're out of Florida. But I mean, do they do the same rigorous training courses you guys do? Is there other places in other states that are working on this or starting it? I mean, how much of a movement are we seeing across the country with this?
We're really not sure. I mean, the bigger places, they've got a lot of money and they've got beautiful facilities and they're using high dollar dogs. Personally, I think the way we're going about this, where we can help more for less,
It's a little
is
more
the way to
consumer
go about
friendly.
it. I would love to think that every state has somebody trying to do something to get something like this going.
Sure.
But I don't know of them, and if anybody does, I wish they would contact me because I sure would love to share some experience with them.
Sure.
And help each other out. So-
Reach out to the ones that are successful.
Yeah.
You guys are obviously being very successful, including beginning to try and work with the Kansas Humane Society. I mean, you guys are working with those guys to try and work on animals.
We are currently talking with Mark Eby, the CEO of Kansas Humane Society, about getting a contract where they will, any dog we want to pull from there will be vetted, chipped, and donated to us at no cost, which will put us way ahead of the curve on everything we're trying to do.
There you go. Even more consumer friendly.
Right.
Just like that.
Right.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah,
How
right now
cool.
we have about 6 or 7 dogs that we have gotten from rescues. They're all but 1 or all but 2 have been placed with veterans now. So
Okay.
we have 6 that are death row dogs. The ones that everybody was going to throw away and say that they weren't worth anything. Those are the dogs that we have, and they're doing seizure alert, they're doing balance assist, they're doing PTSD alert, they're doing everything that everybody said they couldn't do.
How cool. How cool. Now, Robin, you mentioned a little bit about some of the donations, some of the fundraisers, some of the events that are going on around the country, and especially during the holiday season, people wanting to give, people wanting to be cheerful, wanting to give back. But as we see so many other places, there's scams, there's bad deals where it's not actually going to where, I don't know, the Clinton Foundation, only 20% are going to where it needs to kind of thing. But talk about some of the bad fundraising events that you've seen that are related to veterans and even this.
I think one of the things that has really had me in my personal life right now that has had me so fired up in the last couple of weeks has been, and if you want to research this, go ahead. There's an organization that is taking money, and obviously a ton of money. And as I understand it, it is a former police officer and a veteran that have raised in excess of, as of last night, $750,000, okay, to hopefully, I guess, they say that they're going to help this, like, say, 2,000 veterans that are going to go to North Dakota pipeline protest situation. And my question on that is, $750,000, even if I know they've gone above and beyond that today, I would like to know, what is $750,000 going to buy for 2,000 veterans for a 2 or 3 day protest? Are we buying each of them a hotel? I mean, really, what? I don't get it. And I see their GoFundMe page, and there's people that are on there that are like, I have $20 left. I'm not going to buy a Christmas gift for so and so and such and such. I'm going to give you my last $20. Wait.
To go up and protest.
Yeah, I have some massive problems with some of this stuff, and that's a big one. do not give your last few dollars that you do have during this holiday and giving season to some BS, quite frankly, in my opinion. It's a BS thing. It's a scam, in my opinion. I think that we need to think first about donating this time of year to the local organizations that are doing these things, like Midwest Battle Buddies. They're here. We know them. We can see them at Town East. If you want to donate to something that's going to help your veterans, please, I can't say it enough, please donate to these local organizations that you can go to Town East and see them in action. I have no idea what almost $800,000 is going to do. Okay, I mean, I have no idea. Can somebody tell me? I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
Right?
know. Gas money to get there and back, apparently. I don't know.
Well,
But,
and we have a local activist that is constantly. I know. I'm so Howard Stern when I do radio. Sound
hey, that's
effects
what
for
it's
me.
here for. Again, we're on PC here, so you're right in the right place.
I
Okay.
know, I love that. But I mean, so this local, activist is constantly going, send me money, give me money, pay me money, so I can continue to stay in this very nice hotel room over here in North Dakota and report to you from my bed in my hotel room. Really? No.
There's more ways to be more efficient during the holiday season to really give back and know that it's going to a true, real good
Right?
cause. And like this, the Midwest Battle Buddies is the perfect example of that. Now, obviously, there's
Exactly.
other in town as well, but this is a perfect example of a local charity, as you mentioned, and a local way to truly see the positive effects and results of that money going somewhere.
Exactly. I mean, I know that a lot of people that, this is their time to give. This and I'm one of those. I like to give all year long.
Sure.
I budget money every month in my budget to donate, and I have no problem donating in December. But December is the big donation month.
Sure.
People are like, okay, hey, I've got a little bit extra. Maybe I don't need, another, pair of socks at Christmas. So, I'm going to go ahead, or a crazy sweater. I am going to donate. And I would love to ask people to please donate to the local organizations that are hands-on helping other people. And Midwest Battle Buddies, in my opinion, is one of the best local organizations that I can see that is truly helping veterans in so many ways. I've seen it for the last year. I see it daily. I see these veterans and I follow their pages, and I'm just like, oh yeah, this is it. This is it. I love it.
Oh, it's wonderful, and I'm not even personally that much of a dog person. These are some of the best dogs I have seen. They're beautiful, they're docile, they're wonderful. If my wife was here, she would be leaving with you guys just because she would want the dogs. So I mean, they're perfect, and this is the great way to help the people who have fought so hard and done everything for us to maintain, for us to be able to be on PC on the radio here.
Thank you.
That have fought and defended. And this is our way to get back to them and
Right.
help out. Midwest Battle Buddies, how can we get a hold of you guys? How can we donate? How can we help? How can we help your guys' cause?
There's a few ways. I had mentioned the website, which one of our people is working on right now. That's MidwestBattleBuddies.org.
Okay.
If you can't get there, we're easy to find on Facebook, Midwest Battle Buddies. Also, if you want to contact us directly, our address is P.O. Box 43, Rose Hill, Kansas 67133.
Very good, very good. And the Facebook, as you mentioned, the Midwest Battle Buddies, you can follow. Do you guys post the pictures of the training on there? Do you post
Yes,
the different
you can
dogs that
actually
have?
go and see what we do. You can see us working at the mall. You could see us. We work. We start our groups in the in a park, and then when they graduate to the advanced class, it's all in, like Tony said, in Town East. I mean, floors aren't supposed to move. Stairs aren't supposed to move. These are very scary things for dogs.
Sure,
Looking
sure.
through the glass on the second story, like Tony had mentioned. That's some dogs have issues with heights, and
Sure.
we need to know these things. They're here to take care of their handler, and if their handler's having to take care of them for any reason, that's not the way it works.
Sure. Last question here. When you do treat them, I mean, they're so docile, they work so hard. What's their favorite treats to give them when they are doing something so exceptional as they
Puppy
are?
crack.
Puppy crack.
Yes, I make puppy crack.
What is puppy crack here?
Puppy crack. We get there's a Richard's Cold Storage in Valley Center.
I
Meat
love
locker.
those guys.
They save beef hearts and ground meat and things like that, and they'll sell it to us for a very reasonable price.
There it is.
And
Okay.
I will take
I'm
the
holding
heart
some.
and dehydrate it and the dogs go crazy about it.
So it's just like a beef jerky, but with different parts.
Right,
That's
it's beef heart that I throw in the dehydrator, and these guys go absolutely nuts for it.
How fantastic! I love it. I love it. Midwest Metal Buddies. Robin, thank you for bringing these
Oh,
guys
you're
in.
very welcome.
This is fantastic. Thank you guys for your service. Oh yeah, we got to get Dean on here. We haven't even talked to Dean
I know,
yet,
Dean.
and to talk
Come
about your
over
dog
here.
and talk about
Sit down over there,
talk
Dean.
your experience here for the last couple of minutes before we got to take a break. But this is such a fun program. So thank you for bringing these guys in because this is what it's all about.
I agree. I think anytime that, when we have a local radio station, locally owned radio station like this one right here, I think it's very important. I mean, you have the ability to serve so many people, not just with the advertisement that we all contribute to, but also to the local groups and organizations that are out there on the front lines. And I think bringing them into the studio in this environment and letting them speak is priceless.
Well, this is what it's all about.
Exactly.
This is
I
what
wanna
it's
say
all about.
thank
This
you.
is the rare, unique opportunity for that.
I know, right? Thank you for that one. Now, Dean, your four-legged furry friend Carter is gorgeous.
Thank you.
Kind of a boxer mix. I had
Yeah,
a
boxer pit.
Yeah, boxer pit.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know about the pit. Okay, so tell us, what has this done for you?
It's gave me some of my confidence. It's given me some of my confidence back. I used to not get out of my house very much unless it was a demolition derby.
Hey, well, that's a good reason to get out
That's
there.
always a good
Now I
thing.
go everywhere. Carter travels about 2,100 miles in 2 days, and
Wow.
we just got back from Wyoming yesterday, and
Really?
he rides in a truck